Hello, my friend. This is Dr. John, and I'm grateful you're here with me today. I want you to take a deep breath and imagine yourself 10, 20, even 30 years from now. Picture yourself walking confidently, carrying your groceries with ease, enjoying a sunny stroll with your grandchildren, or maybe tending your garden without worrying about a stumble. That image of independence, strength, and vitality, believe it or not, it starts with the choices you make today. And one of the most overlooked yet essential foundations of that future is your bone health. Now, you may have seen the thumbnail for today's video, the one that says, "This easy habit strengthens bones." Maybe it showed a glass of milk, or a pair of small dumbbells, or perhaps a calcium-rich snack. The truth is, building strong bones isn't about drastic measures or expensive supplements. It's about weaving small, meaningful habits into your daily rhythm. And if you start today, the benefits will echo for the rest of your life. Weak bones don't just happen in old age. They develop silently year after year until one simple fall can change everything. But the opposite is also true. Strong bones are built day by day, and the sooner we begin, the better our chances of staying independent and resilient. I remember one of my patients, Mary Ann, a gentle woman in her late 60s. She came to me after a minor fall in her kitchen left her with a fractured wrist. "Doctor," she said with tears in her eyes, "I didn't even slip hard. How could my bones be so fragile?" When we talked through her history, I learned she'd spent years avoiding dairy, skipping strength exercise, and never considered habits for her bones. But here's the inspiring part. Within a year of committing to a new daily routine, just a few changes each morning, her bone density scans began to improve. She told me, "I feel steadier, I feel stronger." And that's exactly what I want for you. So let's start with something simple and powerful: daily weight-bearing movement. You don't need a gym membership and you don't need heavy barbells. Even walking briskly, climbing stairs, or doing a few minutes with small dumbbells at home sends a signal to your bones. Our skeleton is living tissue. It listens to the pressures we put on it. Think of it like a tree in the wind. A tree that sways and bends in the breeze actually grows stronger because of the stress placed upon it. In the same way, every step you take, every squat you perform, every push-up you manage, tells your bones, "Stay strong, reinforce yourself." Marianne, the patient I mentioned earlier, started with 2-pound dumbbells. She could barely finish 10 curls at first, but every week she added a little more. That stress wasn't breaking her bones, it was building them. And within months, she wasn't just protecting her bones, she was standing taller, moving with energy, and even feeling younger. The second daily habit that quietly builds resilience is nutrition for bone strength. And yes, calcium is important, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. The real story includes vitamin D, magnesium, and protein. Without these, calcium alone doesn't do its job. One of my favorite recommendations is starting your morning with a calcium-rich snack. It could be a serving of Greek yogurt topped with chia seeds, or even a handful of almonds paired with fresh fruit. These foods deliver calcium, magnesium, and protein all in one. For those who prefer non-dairy, there are fortified plant milks that contain both calcium and vitamin D. And don't underestimate the sun itself. Just 10 to 15 minutes of morning light on your skin helps your body create the vitamin D it desperately needs to absorb calcium. I had another patient, George, who loved spending all his time indoors. His vitamin D levels were almost non-existent. After adding a short walk outside each morning, not only did his vitamin D normalize, but he told me he felt less anxious and slept better. That's the beauty of natural habits. They ripple into other areas of life. Now here's something that many people overlook: posture and balance training. You see, strong bones matter, but so does preventing falls in the first place. What good are solid bones if poor balance puts you on the floor? Simple exercises like standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or practicing gentle yoga poses in the morning train your nervous system to stay steady. One of my older patients, Helen, used to trip constantly on uneven sidewalks. She began a routine of balance training, nothing fancy, just a few minutes each day of standing tall, holding her core, and breathing deeply. Within 6 months, she felt more confident crossing the street. The combination of bone strength and stability kept her independent. And independence, my friend, is priceless. As we continue, I want to gently remind you, if you're finding this message valuable, if you believe health is worth sharing, go ahead and click subscribe to join our community here at Health Wisdom Insights. Like this video if it resonates with you, and maybe even share it with someone you care about. Sometimes a small message is all it takes to inspire change in another person's life. Now, let's circle back to the heart of our conversation. There's a hidden factor in bone strength that almost no one talks about, yet it's deeply powerful: the role of inflammation and gut health. When your body is inflamed, when your digestion is sluggish or unbalanced, your bones actually suffer. This is because inflammation increases the activity of cells that break bone down and reduces the effectiveness of the cells that build it back up. One man I worked with, Daniel, struggled with acid reflux for years and often relied on processed snacks and soda. His bones began to thin earlier than expected, despite him getting enough calcium. Once we worked on improving his gut health, adding fermented foods like kefir, increasing leafy greens, and reducing processed sugars, his digestion improved, his inflammation markers decreased, and his bones began to stabilize. Isn't it remarkable how interconnected the body really is? Let me pause here and tell you, if you take nothing else from the first half of this talk, remember this: strong bones are not built overnight. They're built through consistent daily choices. Whether it's carrying a bag of groceries instead of avoiding it, choosing a handful of walnuts instead of a bag of chips, or taking a 5-minute walk in the sunshine, these moments compound over time. They may seem small today, but years from now, they'll be the difference between frailty and freedom. And there's still more I want to share with you, because strengthening your bones is not only about what you do with your body or what you put in your mouth, it's also about how you live, how you manage your energy, and even how you rest. So let's continue deeper into this journey together, because one of the most underestimated builders of strong bones is restorative sleep. You may be wondering, what does sleep have to do with bone density? Quite a lot, actually. During deep sleep, your body repairs and rebuilds tissues, including bone. Hormones like growth hormone surge at night, stimulating bone-building cells called osteoblasts. Without quality rest, your body doesn't have the opportunity to renew itself fully. I once worked with a man named Peter, who was in his early 70s. He prided himself on being productive, but he admitted to sleeping barely 5 hours a night. His energy was low, his mood was flat, and scans showed that his bones were thinning faster than expected. When we addressed his sleep, creating a calming nighttime routine, reducing caffeine, and even dimming lights in the evening, his rest improved. A year later, not only did his bone density stabilize, but he felt sharper, stronger, and more alive. Sleep, my friend, is medicine in its purest form. Another pillar we often forget is the role of hydration. Bones may seem solid and dry, but they're actually made up of about 25% water. When you're chronically dehydrated, bones lose some of their flexibility, making them more prone to fractures. Drinking water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's about keeping every living cell in your body, including bone cells, functioning optimally. A woman I cared for, Sophia, had frequent leg cramps and joint stiffness. She thought she needed more supplements. But when we tracked her habits, the real culprit was that she barely drank 2 glasses of water a day. After slowly building up to 6 to 8 glasses, her cramps diminished, her joints loosened, and she felt more agile. Her bones, too, were supported by this simple but often neglected habit. There's also a fascinating connection between stress management and bone health. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, a hormone that in high levels actually weakens bones over time. That's why people under long-term emotional strain often experience not just fatigue, but also more rapid aging of the skeleton. One of my patients, Clara, a retired teacher, carried deep stress after caring for her ill husband. She felt as though she aged 10 years in just 3. We worked together on simple stress-reducing practices, deep breathing exercises, gentle Tai Chi movements, and journaling before bed. Within months, she described a sense of lightness returning. Her body responded too. Though she was in her 70s, her bone scans showed stability instead of decline. Stress will always be part of life, but how we meet it, calmly or with tension, changes our biology. As we put these threads together, movement, nutrition, balance, gut health, sleep, hydration, and stress management, we begin to see the whole picture. Strong bones are not the result of one miracle food or one single exercise. They are the product of a daily routine that honors your body. A morning walk with the sun on your face, a breakfast of Greek yogurt with chia seeds, a few minutes of balance practice as you brush your teeth, a glass of water beside you as you start your day, a calming breath before bed to ease into restorative sleep. These small rituals weave together into a tapestry of resilience. And if you're thinking, but Dr. John, I'm starting late. I didn't do these things in my 20s or 30s. Let me reassure you, it is never too late. Bones respond at every age. I've seen people in their 80s improve their strength, reduce their fracture risk, and regain confidence simply by starting where they are. The body is astonishingly forgiving. It doesn't ask for perfection, only consistency. So as we come to a close, I want you to picture yourself again in that future we imagined at the beginning. You're standing tall, carrying yourself with strength, moving with grace. You're not fearful of falling, not limited by frailty. You are vibrant, capable, independent. That future isn't built on luck. It's built on the habits you choose today. My friend, I encourage you to start small. Add one practice tomorrow morning. Maybe it's stepping outside into the sunlight, or lifting a pair of small dumbbells for a few minutes, or pouring a glass of water before your coffee. Let that one change ripple forward, and soon you'll find yourself living a life that supports not only your bones, but your whole being. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's always an honor to share these insights with you. Remember, your body is resilient, your bones are alive, and your future is still being written with every choice you make. Stay consistent, stay hopeful, and above all, stay strong. Until next time, this is Dr. John wishing you health, vitality, and the freedom to keep moving forward in life.